Good morning, guys. How we doing this morning? M-Dog, what's going on? Well, I got good news. We're close. So I'm going to show you guys what I've been up to. So there, I got to get him colored this morning. And we're going to get this guy colored up this morning. Speaking of which, where is my bag? Oh, okay, got my bag. And then if we have time, we're going to wrap up with this one. So we got about an hour and a half, maybe hour 45 to get as much stuff as I can do. And then the good part is as far as the cards go, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 cards left to do. So I know the characters that are left are going to be Echo. Let me take it back. Fing Fang Foom. So that's the dragon. Gamora. We have Echo. Gwenpool. And I think that's it. I think it's 4. What's going on, guys? So Echo is after... Oh, wow. No wonder I have my stuff out of order. That's why. Would be the reason why I... All right, so Elektra should be after Echo. Oh, okay, yeah. Elektra's after Echo. Dormammu is done. So Echo needs to be done. Then we got to do Fing Fang Foom. And he's before Galactus. Then we're going to do Gamora, which is before Ghost Rider. Spider-Gwen, or Gwenpool, and then we got Havoc. Okay, so it is 5. We only have 5 left in the Marvel series, and we are done. So here's the deal, guys. After I wrap up these couple of cards that I have to get colored, I'm going to jump right into doing some Pokemon cards because I have a show this weekend, and I would like to have some, Pokemon cards for this event. It'd be pretty fun to have those. I've never done a card show. I've done plenty of comic book based shows. Okay, that one's good. That's fine. Almost thought I wrecked my comic. That would have been bad. So this is where we're going. So what are you guys up to this morning? Hope everybody's having a great morning. All right, let's get these colors on for this one. We're going to do Venom from the video game. That's what we want. Marvel versus Capcom. What's going on, Drive? What's going on, Forever? Hope you guys are having a great morning. Oh, yeah, we're going to definitely do the blue screen one. That'll work. I like that. Oh, you know what I got to do today? I got to do my order. I need more supplies. I think I'll have to overnight them, but that's okay. We can do that. I completely flopped on that one. I was not paying attention on the time. And I did not order my stuff. That's not smart. All right, so we're going to go with the blue-green version of Venom from the video game, Marvel vs. Capcom. So that's why he's going to have this blue tint to him. What's going on, Create a Lot? Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, somebody pick up. I think we're doing a Venom something. I can't remember what it is I want to do, but it's going to be some fun stuff this week. Got to take a look because I'm going to have to mock that up today. It won't take very long. And then I think what I'll do is between Thursday and, I got to put some black in there. Between Thursday and Friday, I'll knock that piece out. The sketch covers have been coming out really good. I had somebody hit me up online Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to finalize everything. I thought everything was done, and we got down to the payment, and then it kind of flopped from there. What's going on, Mr. Boo? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I haven't had anybody do that one before, but you know, there's a first time for everything. I think we just lost connection. That's all I can think of. That's okay. No worries. I mean, I'll probably get the guy again. He found me online from somebody, and we'll get back together again. I mean, it'll be fine. Got to have that positive outlook on things. All right, so we're going to hit this up with this lighter blue. And then we're going to come over with this guy and go on top of the blue. And this is like right near the muscle. So it's good to mix and match. Now, for those of you that are brand new to this, that are coming in, you know, pop it in, pop it out. This is my comic, or this is my sketch card series. So we're doing some very, very strong work in here, trying to get all this stuff done in a year's time. 1,000 cards, 1 year. So a lot of work to do. And then, like I said, next I have to knock out some Pokemon cards, which I don't think it's going to be very hard because I did some mock-ups already, so it should go pretty smooth. But I have 15 characters I got to do. So I got to really like lock in, get that done. Plus, I have to wrap up a website for one of my clients. And I have another client that I have to, we're trying to figure out an email issue. So that's something that I'm going to work out today. I think I've nailed down where the problem is. And she's been very patient with me on trying to get this stuff done. So she is a very big priority. Yeah, this is my lock-in year. I have a lot of things that I'm doing. I mean, the reason why I was running behind today was because I was getting my workout in because I'm on a workout challenge. You know, once I'm getting committed to these things, I'm going in very hard. What's going on, Matt? Thanks for popping in. Knocking out this spawn here. Or not spawn, Venom. I did this the other day. I actually was able to get pretty much almost all of it done the other day, as far as like the layout done, and then I knocked out the inks. What's going on, Goldfish? So today is all about getting colors done on these pieces. I have 5 characters left for the Marvel series, so I'm severely behind on this project, but you know, this is more for fun, and I'm not going to stop until it's done. So even if I go past my deadline, which I'm not trying to do, I will get it done. It's hard. I mean, when you think of like the number, 1,000 is a big number, but 700 was a big number. But when I was doing it before, I didn't count the characters. I just went ahead and drew the characters. For those of you that are new here, that give you context. So back during COVID times, one of my favorite comic book stores was suffering, and it actually was going comic book stores across the country. And you know, I saw Jim Lee doing his part to help out the comic book shops, where he would just do a drawing a day. Sometimes he'd ask for the viewers' input, and then he auctioned off all of that artwork that he did. It was all original art that he was doing day by day, different mediums and all that stuff. And then during that time, I saw my comic book shop, in order to push, you know, people to, you know, at least still order and let them know that they were still alive. You know, they were given an incentive to their customer base. So they said, okay, you do an order of $25 or more, and this is, you know, if you order online, and I think also if you did it in store, they're going to give you some free artwork. And that helped a lot because, you know, a customer would get a piece of artwork and they'd be like, wow, okay, this is cool, because it's almost like you got a surprise with your work, all right, with your order. So from a customer standpoint, it was really really cool. So I worked really hard to create some very cool custom cards for people. I did every character I could think of. I picked different genres. They were just headshots, so it wasn't like full body. It wasn't like super crazy. I mean, probably this size but bigger as far as like the setup, but it was good stuff. I mean, I had everybody that I loved. I had Vash the Stampede in there. I had the Elric brothers from Full Metal Alchemist, bunch of Marvel characters, Sonic the Hedgehog, all those characters were in there, and it was a fun piece. It was a fun set to do. I'd definitely do it again if we ever ran into that situation again, where the pandemic was killing off businesses that I really cared about. That just goes to show, at the end of the day, people just love, good art. So that was fun. And then this is just, this is my thing where I just realized this is going to work on a bunch of different levels. So number one, I now will have a huge catalog of characters that if somebody wants to buy one, it's very unlikely that I won't have it. Or if I don't have it, I can always make it. That's the part that I really, love about this. Right, we're going to just come in here and darken this up a little bit. Because that's usually what would happen. People would be like, hey, do you have this character? Do you have this character? I'm like, no, I don't have it. I can make it for you, though. But now they can get a card. And here's the thing. Not all of us have a bunch of wall space to put all of this stuff, but we can put these into, smaller frames and put them somewhere, right? We can hang them up on the wall or something like that. This is a little bit more, achievable. This is a little bit more workable. Sorry, just gonna grab my bag. So that's the thought process that I have now, because usually what I would do is I would make 11 by 17 pieces, but I can always make those down the road if I want to off of these. That is always something that's in the back of my mind that I can do. And I just might do that. But in the meantime, I have these smaller pieces, which are a lot more digestible for most of the public. There we go. So he's done. He looks fabulous. All right, so let's give it a little bit better of a look. There he is. He looks really good. I love him. Okay, that one's done. That one's a wrap. All right, now it's time to go to Professor Xavier. And we're just going through here. We're just knocking out colors because we did all the hard part of, the inking and all that stuff the other day. So that I don't have to worry about anymore. Now it's just focusing in on the art. Getting all the details in here. And getting rid of like lineage and all this kind of good stuff. So that way it doesn't show up when I do the final. Okay. Especially don't want it in his face, because when I'm putting down the undertone color, which usually is like this like mauve kind of purple color, I don't want that showing. Okay, so his power is going to be coming from the top of his head, so you got to have that glow coming from him. Let me grab this. So in terms of colors that I use, I'm using this guy. That's a BV00. I'm going to use a E51. I will also be using an E00, which is one of my favorite colors to use. To give him a little bit of shade, I'm going to add an E11. And then undertone-wise, I'm going to use, where are you? Do I want to use this one? Let me see if this is pink. It's a pinkish color. I'm not going to use that. So for my undertone color, here we go. And I got to order some more of this today too. Got to sit down and make that happen because I got to get it in here ASAP. So this is the color that I primarily like to use whenever I'm doing skin tones. It is a V01. Okay, V is in Victor, 01. And this one is what I do with all of my shades. So if ever I'm creating shadows, this is what I want to do. So remember, the shadows are opposite the highlights. So remember, everything's going outward. So like underneath his eyebrow would be one, underneath his nose would be another, right here under the lip, under the chin. Okay, if it was lit up from the bottom, we would do the opposite. But in this case, we're not doing that. So we're in good shape. Think of like pockets. That's where these areas are going to be. So like underneath his, like this part of his hand. Underneath here. Like the bottom parts of his fingers. Anything that's on the bottom, that's what we're looking at. So like here. And we leave a little bit of open space just so that way it looks like it's got some volume to it. So I'm just going to showcase like where his cheekbones are. I want that to be highlighted. So when you're first doing this, you'll probably go in, you'll lay down this base, which is fine. And then you might have to let it dry a little bit and then go back over it for a second pass. All right. So the easiest way that I do like Copics, and most of the times when I tell people how to do them, is that you want to build up. That's the best way to do it. With colored pencils, you'll build up as well, or you can knock things down because you can always, punch a color in. With Copics, it's a little different. You have to build all those colors up. So you don't start dark and then go to light. You have to start light and go to dark. All right. So in this case, now I got my shadow. Now, when I'm saying starting light, this is my, this is the one I want to use. I apologize. I want to use the E00. That's the one I want to start with. And then I'll go to the E51 and the E11. The E11 is just a little bit darker. If I need it, I will put it in there, but I'm going to have it just in case. So I want to make sure I hit like the top parts of his head, areas of the face, and making sure that I'm going over and blending that purplish color into his skin. Now you could do this with a red tone, a red undertone, if they have like that more like an Indian colored skin where it's got that red undertone. That tends to work really well. But it just depends on the character. But for most of the Caucasian folks that I create, that I work with, this tends to work out well. And then I'll add in this guy right here to make it that tone that I want. Now I can see that this is starting to die, so I'm going to have to end up getting myself a refill, which is not a problem. For any of you that are getting new into Copics or anything like that, definitely get the refills. Don't just discard your markers. Refills are much cheaper than you buying new markers because the markers are limited. Think of it like when you go to get ink for your printer. It's on that level. So when you get a refill, depending on the company, but I go through Blick. This is the style that they use now. These are still ones that I think they still produce, but I think this is the more now produced one that they do. And it's a little bit easier to use because the tip right here is a lot more user-friendly because of the length of that tip. It doesn't ooze all over the place, which is what you don't want to have happen. I've seen so many people's artwork, including my own, get destroyed by that old one. All right. So you can see how that's producing those shadows there. Okay, so that's good. We like that. Let it dry. Okay, let it dry a little bit. It doesn't take very long for it to dry, but you definitely want to let it dry. Okay, so he's doing a projection. So I'm going to do the projection with like a pink and then I'll add some colored pencils in there to push that. And this pink is not going to work because that one's dead. Make sure that you're using your Copics, guys, because they tend to get kind of mucky, and I'll show you what one looks like when you don't use it for a while. Where's my pink? My other pink? Because if I don't have another pink, I'm just going to have to use a colored pencil. Trying not to do that. All right, well, we'll use this one. This will be fine. And then I can just go over it. So this is an R20. This will give me the pink that I can use. And then I'll go over it with a colored pencil. So this will be my base. So I want this projection to come out. And again, I'm pulling away from his skull. So it gives it that energy that is projecting outward. It's not all flat. That's the thing. That's what gives it that pop. You got to be careful because like what I'm doing right now, see how it's pulling in some of that ink? So I got to be careful when I'm hitting that ink because that ink is causing me a little bit of a problem. However, it's not a huge problem. Okay. So those are the projections, and that's what you want to be aware of. Now the question is, why is that doing that? Well, depending on the ink that you're using, it'll pull with Copics because the Copic reactivates that ink. It resaturates that ink, and that's why that happens. Now, what I would do in the case of that, because a colored pencil will not do that, the colored pencil will now be on top. I'll come back in with a colored pencil, and I can now go over that inky part and now give that a different shade, and it adds to the quality of that piece. See? And you would never know that I used the ink unless you were like super examining it. And that's what you want to do. See? So there, we got his projection. Pretty simple, right? Now, here's where you run into a problem, okay? You want to make sure that you halo the head with that color. All right, my base color. I'm not trying to make it like super bright. I just want to show that there is some kind of reflection coming off of his dome. His head is round, and you don't want it to come off flat, so you definitely want to follow the curvature of his head. And I'm going to keep a little of the shine on his head because he does have a bald head. And I'm going to add these little pinks to his ears. So I'll add in this little darker pink around the top of his head, and I'm just going to halo just on the outside of his head. I'm going to halo this. And then that way it gives it a little bit more character. Okay. And that's the basic part of his look. So we're not done yet. We still need to do the clothing, right? And let me go in here, Google. And I'm going to put in Professor Xavier, Professor X. I think I want to put on some music because I really need to get... It's one of the greatest discoveries of modern times.
If you mash strawberries and the Bay Area between peanut butter and chocolate.
Okay, so... All right, so let's see. Well, how do I want him to look? Do I want him to look like classic Xavier with the green? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the green. I'm going to go a little more classic for him. I'm going to go green with the blue tie, maybe. Let me see. Okay, definitely got to watch that. Definitely got to watch that. Ooh, I could do him. You know what? I'm not going to do the green. I'm going to do him with purple. I think I'm going to do that. So purple. I think purple would work. Yeah, let's grab this mauve here. And I'll give him a white. I'm going to leave him with the white jacket. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a purple vest. That'll work. Like that. I love the purple vest. That looks great. Purple vest is on point. And then we're going to go. I don't want to do pink. What do I want to do? I want to do. We could do black with red. That would work. Or a deeper pink. We got pink in there, though. Can we do blue? Yeah, I think we can do blue. We're going to do different blues in here. So we'll do blue there. Blue here. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to throw the shadows up in here, so don't stress. It'll be fine. Okay. This one's going to look good. I promise. We'll get some yellow. I was going to do blue on top of blue, but I wanted to kind of like make this look a little different. Hope everybody's doing good out there. I guess I got everybody kind of early this morning. That's okay. I'm not mad about it. It's all good. Yeah, I know it's got to be early because I usually get more people coming through in the morning. Oh, so this one's got to have here. This is going to be underneath the jacket. And again, this is where we're throwing in our shadows. And, you know, these little lines here, this little cross hatching kind of helped me know where my shadows were. Little tricks. I was talking to the people the other day about how you can really tell a good artist, and not art in terms of like painting and stuff like that. I'm talking more so like an illustrative artist. The way you can really tell their work is how well they can do it without color. How clean does it look without the color? So one of the reasons why like mangas look so good is because they really stress being able to do ink work. Can you handle the pen? Can you handle digital blacks and stuff like that? Okay. Look at that. Professor Xavier's done that fast. I love it. Love it. So we got Professor X and Venom. They are a wrap. That quick. Because they were already, set up for success. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just got to get something in the background here so I can listen to something. Because it is very quiet. No, I don't want to watch Straight Outta Compton. That's not appropriate for this. Hmm. Oh, Rebirth is on. That sounds fun. Okay. Well, what's going on, Step? Silva, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What are you working on this morning? There we go. Oh, that sounds not so much fun for your early morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you know what? We do have to pay our bills, right? So we have to have our daytime stuff. It only sucks for a little bit, right? Then you get to go home and you get to enjoy the fun stuff. Please tell me you haven't been working an overnight. Okay. How are you not confident in the stuff that you're doing? You mean to tell me your stuff isn't that good? No, no, no. Well, look, think about it. All right. So if you were Walmart, you're not going to get everybody that walks in the door is going to buy something. It's just not going to happen. Think about when you go to Amazon. There's sometimes when you go to Amazon, even though you're going there to go buy something, you don't always buy something, right? And you got to keep that in mind when you're on Whatnot. You're not going to get a sale every time. However, it's not going to dilute your work because you're always trying to do something to kind of heighten that up. I mean, case in point, right now, it's probably been the slowest time for me in terms of sales, right? But that's okay. I'm using that time to make more work. That way, people can kind of see what I'm up to, and I could always use that for content for other stuff. So, in all honesty, it's about perspective. So, where is a good version of Stone with her headgear? Yeah, I know it can be a little stressful, but in all honesty, I would just tell you just go in the deep end and go for it. How often do you stream? I haven't had a chance to sit and watch one of yours yet. Jesus. Oh, you were? Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you can't do it like every day because that's a lot. But did you see a drop in sales when you're doing it every day? See? So that just proves my point. You have a good customer base. You just got to keep it going. That just means that people are looking forward to seeing what you do. So you've been highly successful. That's good. Well, I will definitely make sure that, when you pop up again, I'm going to have to tune in. I'm finding more and more people that are doing work on here. I really love the work that they're doing. And I'll say this more for the people that I get to interact with on my channel. Everybody is super talented. So it kind of makes me have to step up my game. Yeah, a lot of you out there, no joke. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. So what I would do, and instead of uh, losing those customers, just go ahead and keep that log. Go ahead and take whatever payment you want to do, whether it be a deposit or full amount, and just hold on to that. And then you can always work on those, during your shows. You'll be surprised. You actually do better work during a show because you're kind of like in a what do they call it, autopilot. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about having the pressure on you when you have to go live. I've seen so many just like banger pieces of work. Um, there's a guy on here. His name's Gabriel. His name is Paint with Watercolor, and his work is phenomenal. But I think it's gotten better since he's had that audience. Well, see, you already have the idea of what you need to do. So I mean, I don't really have to pump you up or anything like that. You got this. So, what would you say your specialty is? I haven't had a chance to take a look at your site or look at your page. Ooh, pinups. See, that's fire. That's a hard talent to do. See, a pinup, like if you could do a pinup calendar, oh man, you would kill it. Yeah, a pinup calendar would probably sell like hotcakes for you. Well, I'll be honest with you. You know, you have some other ladies out there that you could probably kill. So I don't know if you've ever done like Witchblade. She's a good one to do. Um, Red Monica. If you've never done her, she's a really good one to do.
Well, we better not tell anyone then. That might be a problem. He doesn't know it yet, but we're bringing a civilian.
What's going on, Black Knight? Welcome. Hope you're doing well, sir. Yeah, me and Steph were talking about some stuff that she does. I was giving recommendations if she hasn't done certain characters. Oh, well, thank you. I hope it was good stuff.
Guys, why don't you just take a break for a minute, okay? Thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm always trying to make that better. I definitely got to thank my dad for that one because he was an architect, so he was really good at that stuff. Great control. Well, yeah, I think it's very fitting for his stuff because I specifically made his work chunky enough so that he could do his work. I'm going to be talking to him this week because he was talking about possibly doing more, and I think that it would fit really well with what I do. Probably, yeah.
You'll find them on land and in the sky. Quetzalcoatlus is the largest pterosaur. Each of them have an average lifespan of well over a century, even before DNA refinement. A drug that could prevent heart disease would be the biggest medical breakthrough.
I gotta hustle up here today. I'm gonna try to get Storm done, and I think she's gonna be my last one for the day because I have to teach class soon. And surprisingly enough, the class I'm going to be teaching is going to be on character design. A sketch shield. What is that? I've never heard of that.
Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated location. We're putting together a team and we'd like to leave immediately. Competitors and Miss Parker does not tolerate second place. Can you ready tomorrow? Dr. Loomis? I thought I was just advising. You are, in person. You're not qualified.
Oh, okay, cool. That's dope. That's dope. Something like this. So I got one like that that'll hold my sketch covers. Speaking of which, I need to talk to that guy, see if I can get one made for my show. I think he can print one out pretty fast. Watching that movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. Not bad.
We saw 5 years ago, you'd have to wait in line for hours if you couldn't get in. Nobody cares about these animals.
That's good. See, that's cool. I like that. That's a cool design.
I need a second.
How long does it take to make one of those?
Take all the time that you need. Take all the minutes. Like, your entire life has been leading up to this moment.
Gotcha. What's up, Juju Bean?
You ready?
I look forward to seeing them. Yeah. I gotta worry about her little dainty fingers. Hey, Step, you didn't fall off, did you? Okay. What did you think about those characters? Have you ever thought about doing a couple of those? Okay, cool. You never done Red Monica before?
We already agreed on the phone. You named your price.
Yeah, she is. I literally just did a Black Cat a little bit ago. That was a fun one. But by default, Black Cat's a very sexy character, so that makes sense. Fits well with what you do. I would look at like some anime characters. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Vox Machina, but there's a couple characters on that show that you could probably use, and they would be perfect. Like the twin sister.
I hate to see this all fall apart on you.
She'd be really good.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Why don't you make some sort of good faith gesture? Like, maybe.
See, you have like this plethora of playground to do. Yo, what's up, V? Yeah, this is a good arena for you.
You guys cook this up on the phone or just now?
Just trying to help you out.
Let's sit here and eat salty. For God's sakes, fine, agreed.
Great.
Great. We'll look for more Barbados to avoid government control. There aren't many anyway. How's that?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, but I'm going to show you what's been done this morning. Knocked out 2 like super quick. Been sitting on this storm for a minute. But did her mock-up, so I mean this is basically what she looked like. So there's her mock-up right there. And then there's the final rendering. So I think they came out pretty good. And then these are the 2. So Venom was first, knocked him out. So we went with the classic blue with the green tongue from the video game, and then did a Professor Xavier. Those came out really, really good. And now we're going to go ahead and wrap up some Storm. Well, that's all we can do, man. It's always an endless journey. This is a nonstop thing. You are not going to master everything. So practice is good. I'm glad that you're putting in the work. Yes, I actually did look into the epoxy. I found a way to do it without doing the epoxy, because here's the problem with the epoxy is that when I go ahead and I put my nails into the wood, it becomes a problem, and I don't want that. I want it to be like super clean. So I had to go old school, and I had to do it in multiple layers of sandpaper, even to the point where I had to wet sand it, and that gave me the ability to get that finish that I wanted. Yeah, because the stuff that I'm doing is string art. So I was just trying to get the glossy finish onto the wood, so that way when I sprayed it, or not glossy, I should say smooth finish on the wood, so that when I sprayed it, it was like super shiny. So I was able to get the effect that I was looking for. It just took a lot of time.
Is this the part where you tell me it's a crime to kill a dinosaur? No, this is where I tell you it's a syndicate of dinosaurs. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to find new things that I can do with wood. But since right now I'm in the process of doing these projects for my art gallery showing, I just need to make sure I had something that really popped off. It's almost got like claws, man. This is dope.
these darts collect blood samples. You get one shot with each. The Mosa has 4 inches of height, so you must be within 10 meters to penetrate. And it self-ejects when it reaches capacity.
Really?
You fire a couple hundred feet in the air, like a mono-rocket.
Wow. Okay.
On the day, a parachute will open and it will flow back down on us.
I'll take the shot.
Remote biopsy darting is pretty basic. Trust me.
Let me show you something. You feel that stirring? Walking at 15 to 20 degrees.
That sounds like it's going to be a bit of a task.
You got this.
Please, be my guest.
Oh, really? You insist. I don't know anybody that could be offended by that. It's me.
I heard about
That does make a lot more sense there.
I'm so sorry. What job were you on?
Yeah. So my process is that I don't know if you've ever seen like string art pieces, but I get a piece of wood. I obviously it gets cut, and then I have to basically just pound nails into that. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're coming back in a big way because traditional arts aren't being done anymore. So people that can pull that kind of stuff off, have a niche, a niche. Yeah, but now, I mean, it's gotten back to like the old days of where we're doing like geometric shapes and different layering techniques and stuff like that. So it's gotten to be quite the playground.
My own mother's funeral.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I my son literally looked at my stuff yesterday because he hadn't seen it like in person. He's only seen pictures of it. He's like, "You didn't do that." I'm like, "Yes, I did." I only had like 2 of them that were helped by some other folks. What's going on, Kay? Good morning. But my hope is, we get these things sold. I mean, got to go and start somewhere.
Easier for us both just to go out.
We are very pathetic. Or what do you say?
Well, same to you.
Stay alive and get rich this time. For sure.
Yeah, it's always good having you guys up early in the morning knocking this stuff out.
Okay.
Don't just brush that off for me. Don't waste.
All right, so we are ready to start throwing in some ink. And then we're good. I think she's ready. Yep. She's good to go. That's smart. See, you're utilizing, your big brain to come up with good ideas. That's actually really smart.
Ask what you have already in your pocket.
That way you can never have to guess on weight and all that stuff. That's really good.
It's his turn at the wheel. Is he coming or what?
I told him. He's just getting dressed. Join practice? Alright. Remember, it's just a capsule.
Okay.
Guys ever wish you had a boring dad?
We did.
Fine, I. Good evening, Xavier. 6 o'clock.
All right. That's Storm herself. See, that's good because then you don't have to guess. Again, I think that's very, very smart on your part.
I'm so tired. I'm gonna be honest. I tried to knock out at the wheel.
I'll take his shifts. It's fine.
No, I ain't wicked for this. You need to stop.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying my best to make sure that these are getting done.
Can we just anchor? What? Use the anchor. We haven't done that yet. We only carry 50 meters of anchor chain. This is 2,000 meters to the bottom. Okay, that sounds like somebody should have thought about that before we left. Even if he had a way, I tailed this boat, okay, Xavier? I know what I'm doing. Listen, you're good. You're gonna do it. You know what? Just grab another. Yes, I got it. Perfectly fine. Next. Just follow. Give me some. Left, right. Oh, you got it. Left, right. Love this stuff.
So, Kay, are you back to 100% yet?
I didn't say a word. Not one word.
Sit down.
Did he even bring a shirt?
Okay. Clearly, you don't see the side of him that I see. The meaning's like, hey,
Guess I will just be the three of us. You know, one last hurrah.
I'm going to NYU, not Mongolia.
I know, you're right.
What are those?
Where?
Oh, I was asking, are you back to 100%?
Moving east. Dolphins? No. No sins. Sins.
Rock and wheel.
That's good. I'm glad to hear you're back. Let me see here. This.
Something big size watch.
Sailfish?
Barely any left.
All right, there we go. Oh, that sucks. How long have you had the cats? That really sucks. See, I love my boys. And I think if I ever had to get rid of them, I'd probably be a very sad person. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that you're having to deal with that mess. That sucks. I'll start to put this on the wrong side of the card.
It's fine. I can't sleep. Sleep before you should probably.
You don't hear that much music.
What did you have to get one of those allergy tests to find out about it? What's up, Charity?
Can I ask what's bothering you?
Maybe a little PTSD. I probably should have taken some time off.
Like a mercenary?
Situational security in there.
So a mercenary then. Still, sounds way more exciting than my life.
Not exactly.
Well, I have never been shy.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I mean, it's weird. Like as I've gotten older, I realized things that I never would have thought I was allergic to. So I can't eat like McDonald's fries because of the oil that they cook them in. I can't have excessive amounts of like Reese cups because of the peanut butter, because I have an allergy to peanut butter. Yeah, see, I mean, as we adult, I noticed that there's certain things that, as a kid we didn't have those issues with, but as we get older, we find out, oh man, we can't have this and we can't have that, and it's horrible. I found out that, I can't eat popcorn at the theater anymore. Again, because of the oils that are in there. Oh, that would kill me. I couldn't imagine like not having bread. Oh, that would suck.
The signal was clear, right? Sure you heard a meeting? Did you get the location?
DSC, 28 miles away. That's 28 miles, in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part that's hard for people. As we get older, we have to adjust. Our body just doesn't have those immunities anymore.
It's gonna be on its way. There's probably a Coast Guard ship on its way right now.
2 miles.
We are 3 minutes away from this loser sewage.
The Moses sword is tapped. We found it once, we'll find it again.
Maybe we can. See, we're talking about tens of millions of dollars here. All they need to do is just float around for a couple of hours.
Let's go, Visual. Got it, freezing from outside.
All right, I got her in good shape. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's frustrating, but it's better to know than not, because if you're in a situation and all of a sudden you just start not feeling good,
Clear new course. 2433 north.
like I found out that I'm really hypersensitive to people that smoke. So you could literally be smoking in the next room or on another side of the house, and I know that you're smoking. The strange part about it is that I didn't realize this until after. Yeah, it's bad. I didn't realize this because my parents have been smoke. My parents were smokers all their lives. Well, at least as long as I was around. And then I moved out, and as soon as I got back into their house, I would notice like I would instantly get all congested, and I didn't understand why. And as soon as I left for about after an hour or so, I was perfectly fine. I'm like, oh mother effer, it's my parents' house. It's being around the smoke. And then I was when I really realized it is when I was trying to buy a car. It was a used car, and they brought it up from I think Miami or something like that. And I got into it, and instantly I was like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And I was like, I can't buy this car. Because once smoke's inside of your like an upholstery, you can't. I mean, you can't get that out.
Should they be in school? They are. It's summer break. Well, what is your problem? The problem is you should have known better. Now, there are 50,000 boats in this ocean right now. One was attacked by a monster. So where are the odds?
Duncan, let it go. These kids are safe.
All right, so it looks like we're going to be good on time.
And why would a Moses sword?
Maybe thought the boat was arriving. And he wanted to eliminate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, I would hate it for anybody that has to deal with that. I mean, but in your case, I'm just glad that you were able to figure out what it was, and you were able to, be a little bit more aware of it, so that way it doesn't happen anymore, or you're not as affected by it as much. Okay, so I'm gonna have to wrap up here in just a sec, guys. I'm gonna try to get some color on her real fast because I have to get on the. Oh, cool. The Todd father started following me. That's cool. All right, so this is Storm. So she's gonna have to have a. She's got a brown complexion to her, and I'm gonna cover her with brown. All right, and we'll get her hands. Okay. All right. I'll knock out all this color. She doesn't have a lot of colors to her, so it'll go pretty quick. Yeah, I just got to be out of here in like a few minutes. All right. I'm going to richen her up with this run. Okay, I meant to ask you. Now I'm actually using my colored pencils. Have you been using yours? And what do you think so far? Like, are you really seeing the benefits of using them? Yeah, it's definitely it's creates a different challenge. Oh, I meant to show you something. Since you, I don't think you have these because I didn't get one until I started working with colored pencils, and I'm going to show you this. And you might want to order it. They're very cheap. Where is it? I know I have one on my yellow. I just don't see my yellow colored pencil. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I would tell you buy one of these. Like, you can get a set of these. These are extenders. So like when you get colored pencils like this, it's very hard for your hand to do this. It's very difficult. But if you get this guy, it's an extension for yourself. So you might want to invest in these. These are like, I'd probably say like $6 or $7. So I definitely tell you to get some of those. Get them right off of Amazon. Yeah, I ordered a bunch of them because we were teaching some kids how to use colored pencils, and because when you have kids, all they do is just like sharpen, sharpen, sharpen. So you end up with a whole bunch of nubs, and we needed a way that we could still utilize those. So that's why we ended up getting those. So definitely order them. They're super cheap, but worth every penny. All right, I think I'm gonna finish this color set, and then I'm gonna have to get going because I really don't have a ton of time today. Give her underneath her neck. Yeah, they're really good. I love them. Let's see if maybe I can put in like a. Trying to punch it in with this other color, but I don't see it.
What if we don't? What if we don't? What if we get the sample so we don't get them to a company that makes a life-saving drug and then prices its millionaires out? Science is for all of us, not some of us. I guess I haven't. Well, maybe we should start.
What's up, Jesse?
Maybe you should.
And I think this is where we're going to have to call it, guys.
Dad, I think I'm gonna sit.
Just breathe.
All right, guys. I'm going to have to call it. As much as I don't want to stop, I'm going to have to stop here. But I hope everybody has a great Tuesday. You guys take care. Yeah. So, again, this is what we wrapped up with. So, Venom was first. Then we did Professor X. And then we were able to get through most of the work on her. So, and you have a good day as well. So, that's where we're sitting. All right, folks. I will see you probably on Thursday. Take care. Bye.